Hello, everyone. My name is Melodramatic Melissa. I am a fourth year medical student studying at the Medical University of Łódź in Poland. Oh my God, that is such a mouthful. But anyway, today I will be teaching you how to apply to a medical university in Poland. I'll be going through the steps of the application process. I'll be going through the grade requirements you need. I'll be even going through like what medical schools in Poland offer medicine in English. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so let's start. First, we're going to start with what schools can you actually apply to that teaches medicine in English in Poland. So I'm just going to go straight into it. So right here, I've written down 11 medical schools. But did you know that there are actually over 17 medical universities in Poland offering to teach medicine in English? So I think that's amazing. Anyway, let's get into it. So, first things first, we have Jagiellonian Medical University in Krakow. Next, we have Medical University of Gdansk, Medical University of Łódź, which is where I study. And we also have Nicholas Copernicus University in Bydgoszcz, which actually has a huge population of Irish students. We have Medical University of Warsaw, obviously, it's the capital. We also have Poznan University of Medical Sciences, we have Medical University of Białystok. We have Medical University of Silesia Katowice. Oh, as you can tell, there's so many, but I'm gonna keep on going. We have Pomeranian Medical University in Szczecin. We have, oh my God, I cannot pronounce it. Andrzej Fritz Morzewski Krakow University. Please don't judge me. We also have University of Rzeszów, aka Uniwersytet Rzeszowski. So I've mentioned 11 medical schools in Poland that teach medicine in English, but just so you know, there's far more than this, 17 to be exact, apparently. But I'm telling you this because these are the ones that I know of. I know students that go here, and that's why I am telling you. So let's move on. Another thing people like to know or would need to know is when does the application process start? When does the admission start? So typically for Polish medical universities, they start taking their admission, actually the application from April. Some of them start a little earlier, like in February. I know Jagiellonian Medical University starts from February. Some of them start in March, but generally end of March, early April is when the admissions open to come to these universities. So that's why I'm making this video right now because admission has officially started. It is April and you should start thinking of where you want to study this degree. Okay, so another important thing to know is what are the grade requirements. Now, listen to me very, very carefully. Polish medical universities don't need much. All they are asking for you is that you get above average in your leaving cert or high school results. So, what is above average for them in order to come into your first year of medical studies? That is getting 65% and above in two out of the following subjects. What are these subjects? Biology, chemistry, math, or physics. So they require you to get 65% in either biology and chemistry or biology and physics or math and physics. You get the point. But basically, you must have above average grades in two out of these following subjects. Above average means 65%. It does not mean 50%. Please do not mistaken me in this. 65% is what they need. So let's say I'm Irish, right? What is 65% for my country in the leaving cert? That is getting a H4 and above. For instance, if you have a H4 in biology and a H4 in chemistry, but you did not get a H4 in math or physics, then you can apply basically. So this is what I mean. And 65% doesn't only go for Irish students, it goes for every other country or nationality that wants to study in Poland. So I have the PDF from my school. I'm using my school as an example now. It might not be the same for other medical universities in Poland, but for the Medical University of Łódź, which is more or less the same criteria that every other university in Poland holds. Anyway, for the Medical University of Łódź, they require you to have 65%. So let's go through the different countries and what they require. Okay, so I've decided to briefly swap to my front facing camera because I have to go on my laptop. So basically, just to make it clear, applications have started. They start more or less April for most medical universities in Poland, and they typically end in July or September. So you have time to think it through. But I'm making this video so that you know what your options are when it comes to studying medicine, especially abroad, especially in Poland, because it is quite popular for people to come to Poland, but not a lot of people know how to do it. So I'm making this video for that. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so I am officially on my laptop. So let's go. So over here, I have the PDF of my school, which basically is a conversion of your final grades for different countries in the world. So I'm just gonna read it out and yeah. So this PDF is available online to everyone and anyone. So it's not only like I'm not the only one who has access to it. So basically, for the Republic of Poland, when it comes to the grades that is required for you to study medicine in English here, for my school, Medical University of Łódź, always confirm with the school that you are thinking of applying to. For Austria, the minimum grades required for 6 MD program, aka 6 years of your medical degree, is 2 plus 2. I don't understand how this works in Austria. I'm not Austrian, but I'm going to assume it's basically getting 65% in two out of the following subjects that I talked to you about. And also, don't the school also takes dentistry as well. I just don't talk about it as much. So yeah, if you are thinking of becoming a dentist, then you can also apply to Polish medical universities because they typically do a medical like stream and a dental stream as well. But I am talking about medicine at the moment. So for Egypt, you need 65% plus 65%. India, you need 65 plus 65. Ireland, you oh, is it not Ireland? International baccalaureate. I have no idea what this means, but it means 4 plus 4 high level. Iran 13 plus 13. Ireland H4 plus H4. I've explained this already. Uh, Lebanon 65% plus 65%. Germany 8 plus 8. Nigeria B3 plus B3. Norway 4 plus 4. Republic of South Africa 65% plus 65%. So you get the point. You get the point. More or less, whatever country you're coming from, if you want to apply to medicine in Poland, you must obtain 65% in two out of the following subjects that I mentioned to you about. More or less, all of these are all 65%, 65% America, Turkey, UK. You need in A level, you need C plus C. So in BTech, you need distinction all grades and SQC. I have no idea what this means, but you need B plus B and B. And they've got the Welsh Baccalaureate here as well, which is similar to the United, which is basically the UK as well. And then Zimbabwe, C plus C. The reason why they have all of these countries here is because these are the common nationalities that come into my school. If you don't find your country here, it doesn't mean they don't accept your country. It just means that you're just not one of the common people that they take in. But nevertheless, 65% and above in two subjects is what you need. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Also, I'm a firm believer that if you're doing really well right now in biology and chemistry, really well, not really well as in you're getting B's, you're getting A's. And I think this is a good career choice for you. I think you really enjoy the topic and the content. But if you absolutely hate biology and you hate chemistry, because I'm not gonna lie to you, math and physics, we're not doing much of that here. I mean, yeah, sure, in your first year, you're doing a little bit of introduction to math, to physics, not math. And most of the calculations I use right now, it's literally just like formulas, and I can't remember the last time I calculated anything. So if you're doing really well in biology and chemistry, and I think this is the career path for you, but if you absolutely hate it, if you're more into like the physics and the math, you're not going to be doing any of that in this course at all. Like I will tell you, like I doubt any medical student is like solving, I don't know, Pythagoras theorem or whatever it is. So make sure your grades in biology and chemistry are pretty good because I feel like that's a sure sign for me personally Okay, I feel like that's what will determine whether or not you'll find this course enjoyable. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. Next, we are going to go through how to actually apply. Like, I'm gonna go into my school's website and we're basically gonna do it together because it's really not that difficult for anyone to do. So, I'm gonna start recording on my laptop now and we will go. Okay, so let's do this. So right now I'm at my school's page, official page, Medical University of Wood. And over here, down here, you can see admission. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click admission. Okay. And I've clicked the admission. I'm going to go over to 6 year MD. 6 year MD basically means your medical program, which will have the duration of 6 years. Also, as you can see right here, there's 5 year dentistry because dentistry takes 5 years. There's also pre-med here, which I will probably talk about in a later video. So basically 6 year MD. And as you can see, we have the admission criteria, we have the application process, we have the Microsoft Teams entrance exam because the entrance exam for my school is done online, which is absolutely amazing if you like, live far away and you can't come into the country. So yeah. Also, you can see that we have the steps after acceptance. We have application documents, tuition, etc, etc. There's also frequently asked questions as well if you have more pressing issues. Okay, so we're gonna go to the admissions criteria. Okay. And basically, this is where I got all of those academic requirements that I was telling you about. So, when you have time, you should look through each of this. Also, they also have this entrance exam exemptions, which is something I want to tell you about. So, let's say you've done the GAMSAT, which is the graduate entry medical exam, typically for people who have finished a degree already, or you've done the UK CAT or you've done the MCAT. If you get like minimum of the following grades that you can see right here, it means you are actually exempt from doing the exam. So let's assume you were thinking of applying to the UK, okay? And then you do your UCAT and you get a minimum of 2,570 points in your UCAT, which is pretty good. Might be considered low in the UK system. But anyway, let's assume you've gotten 2,570 points or above in your UCAT. You don't need to sit for the entrance exam for biology or chemistry or physics or math or whatever you chose. So as long as your grades are satisfactory and you have your UCAT score, you are good to go. Anyway, let's move on. I just wanted to tell you about the admission criteria. Anyway, let's go on to the application process itself. Okay, so we are in the application process section of my school's website, and basically they have it written down for you. Application process step by step. Everything you need to do is online. There's no physical doing anything, blah blah blah. Everything you need is online. And if you need any help, you can always go and email the administration office and the admission office, whatever. No. So it's really easy. They've put everything you need here. So let's go through it together, shall we? Application process step by step. How to register on the UMed portal. Admission for 2025-2026 opens on April 1st, 2025. So that's why I'm making this video. 13 days or 12 days after the opening. So basically, they have started. And what you have to do as someone new coming into the school is first you have to visit the registration portal and register your application online. So this is step one. Okay. So this is the UMed registration portal, and they're telling you that the applications are open and you should basically create an account online. So what we're going to do is that we're going to register because we can't log in yet because we haven't registered. Only after you register you can log back in. So we register our first name, surname, email address, aka password, aka hasło in Polish. And basically, that's all you have to do. So you register for the UMed portal for incoming students, and then you go back to the create an account section. So after you've registered, you should create your accounts with a secure password. If you have any problems whatsoever, you can contact the admissions team at this email that they've given right here quite handily, and they actually respond very, very fast. And next, you want to select your program, complete the application form carefully, fill in the application form step by step, double check all details to ensure accuracy. As you can see, it's pretty basic, it's pretty laid out for you. Submit your application. Once satisfied, hit the submit button. Remember, data cannot be modified after submission, so this is what they want you to know about. Also, you must upload your required documents. Upload scanned copies of required documents directly to your personal panel. Documents to upload: high school diploma. If you're Irish, we're thinking your leaving cert. If you're from the UK, we're thinking your A levels. And if you're from any other country, you're thinking, the high school diploma that you are supposed to have after you finish your leaving your final year. Now, I understand that a lot of people might not have their high school diplomas yet, because at this stage, I doubt you have graduated yet. But I think you can ask for like a predicted grade or something like this from your university, if I am not mistaken. But if not, always email the admissions team if you have any problems whatsoever. They want you to have an English certificate. Honestly, you don't need an English certificate if you have been taught in English, aka if your school taught you all your subjects in English. But of course, always confirm with the school. I did not need an English certificate. And passport photo, blah blah blah. Document verification. So after you've submitted all your documents, the admissions team of my school will take some time to make sure that all your documents are legit, and then they will also take their time to tell you if you've been accepted or if your documents suit their criteria. So, yeah. And eligibility for entrance exam. Now, if if your document has been verified and you've been accepted, aka you have been predicted 65% of those four subjects I told you, then you will be eligible to sign up for the entrance exam. And as you can see right here, the entrance exam fee is 120 euros. So, like, most of this application will take a certain amount from you. And if they verify the documents and your grades weren't acceptable, then you will not be eligible for the entrance exam. Moving on, they tell you once you've paid for 100, your 120 euro, you can sign up for the entrance exam. Now, the entrance exam is by Microsoft Teams, which I told you about before. And I think it's really good because it's accessible, it's easy for people who live so far away. I remember when I did mine, it was online as well. There were two parts of the exam. First, I had chosen biology and physics to do my exam on, and it was oral, and it didn't take any longer than 10 minutes. And after this biology, physics oral part, the second part was basically asking me my whys, like, why medicine? It's not a complicated exam, but honestly, I studied quite a bit for it. I don't know how it is right now, because the stakes are getting higher. But if people can do it, you can do it. It's not they're not trying to fail you. You know yourself. Um. Anyway, you sign up for the entrance exam. You pick the date that is suitable for you for this team's exam, and then you receive your exam results maybe a week, maybe a few days after telling you whether or not you've been accepted or not. And finally, you secure your final acceptance. You get your letter of acceptance, which is honestly great. You get something called a student status, which you might need for applying for visas and all that kind of stuff. And if you're EU, you have a very, very lucky time when you're doing this. But if you're from the UK and everywhere else, it might be a bit difficult. But don't worry, people have done it, and so would you. It's not that bad. and and yeah, you're basically in. So this is what I was talking to you about. The application process is laid over in the school's website, step by step. Also, I mean, if you want to look into the Microsoft Teams entrance exam, I believe they give you like topics to study from as well. Okay, over here they're saying the entrance exam is 30 minutes oral exam, but I don't remember it being 30 minutes. It kind of just slipped by and I was very nervous. So, you know what? Look, they're telling you your exam contents right here. Biology, 4 questions. Chemistry, 4 questions. Physics, 4 questions. Math, 4 questions. And yeah, that's basically it. And look, they're giving you your books to study, but and they also have sample questions here, which is really, really good. I remember I just used my high school biology and chemistry books. I used the Google a lot, and now there's ChatGTP, so you really don't have any excuses when it comes to studying for this exam. It's not hard exam. I don't think it is. I don't know how it is now, so don't quote me on this, but I believe it is doable. So, yes, and okay, okay. So we've gone through the admissions criteria, we've gone through the application process, and we've gone through the Microsoft Teams entrance exam. There's steps after acceptance that you can go through it. I've passed the entrance exam. What now? So there's a guide, and when you have time, you should read through all of this. I'm not gonna read through all of this. And we have next application documents. Now, I made a little TikTok video explaining in detail what these application documents are. So basically, when you're done with the admissions criteria, you passed your entrance exam. Now, to fully be a student, they require like more documents from you. Remember how I said that uh, you need your high school diploma to come in. Assuming you don't have your high school diploma and you used, let's say, your predicted grades, at this stage, they would need the actual proper like document stating that you had finished school and these are your grades. So yeah, they need the original copy. But I think you can scan it. Anyway, look, it says hard copies here. Important thing is that I think you can give it to them by email, and then when you're here in person, you can give the documents to them. So I'm not going to over explain any of this. I will, however, put a link down in my description of this video, linking you to the short or the TikTok video or whatever, the one I had made a broken down version of this. You can also find it on my shorts part of this uh of my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, guys. Anyway, application form should be filled. Diploma should be submitted. Transcript of records, eligibility statement, certificate from the criminal register. Now, this is really important because this is quite recent. You're not able to be in a hospital where children are if you are, a criminal. So don't be a criminal, I guess, and you will need a certificate from your country stating that you're not a criminal. I think I put this quite bluntly, but anyway, if you're Irish, you need a Garda veteran. If you're from any other country, you need something showing your criminal record, and I'm hoping that it is empty because you will not be able to go into any hospitals or even be able to get into any school in Poland without this. This is really important. Anyway, English language certificate if you need it. Hepatitis B immunization proof. Now, come on. You have to be vaccinated, but if you're not, you can get vaccinated in the school. Well, not in the school, but in Łódź or in Poland when you come here. You can pay for it. Passports, obviously, make sure it's up to date. Photographs, Polish translation. Now, they do require some of your documents to be translated into Polish by like a proper company thing. So if you can do it in your home country, you should. But if not, like if you don't trust your home country's Polish translation, also doing it back in your home country might be even more expensive than doing it here. Then I can link below a good lawyer person, translator person thing that does it. And yeah, apostle and legalization. So this is basically like a stamp you get on your high school diploma stating that it is legit, and recognition from the Department of Education. Yeah, so it's a whole bunch of stuff basically, and they actually explain it quite well underneath here again. So this is what I say when I say they have that step by step like help that you need. So it's honestly not that difficult. Okay, so I've talked to you about the documents you need, your requirements. Oh my god. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to tell you. So a couple of things. Um Agency. Should you use an agency? Should you not use an agency? Now, I've gone through the basic steps. Ooh, I've gone through the basic steps of what you need to do to apply to a medical university in Poland. If it's complicated for you, if you find it quite hard, if it's a bit too much for you, then yes, you can go for an agency. They are basically companies that help you with the application process and help you with settling down into a new foreign country that you're not used to. Is it necessary? I believe personally that an agency is a want and not a need because it is very expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. But if you feel like you need that extra help when it comes to doing something like this, if you feel like, especially for those who come from non EU countries, it can be quite complicated getting everything you need, the documentations, okay, yeah, now the Polish translations, okay, yeah, now this, now that, now the visa, now this. Um, then you can go for an agency, but only if you feel like you absolutely need it. So if you're interested in using an agency, then you can use my link down below. And I'm affiliated with MedLink Students, which is basically an agency which helps students navigate this process of applying to a medical school in Poland. If you're interested, you can try out their free consultation with my link down below, but only if you are, okay? So if you have the to pay for it, then sure, go ahead. But if not, then I'm making this video to show you how easy it is to do things yourself. Moving on, what else do I want to talk to you about? Uh, Cost of living. Now, I'm just gonna say to survive in Poland right now in a month, it's 600 euro, and this is actually, no. So, hello everybody. So, another question I get from a bunch of students is how much do you actually need to survive a month in Poland as a student? Like, just in general, as a student, not even medicine related, but since this is a medical, you know, thingy. So, I'm just gonna put it out to you. You need 700 to 750 euro because I'm telling you right now, the way the cost of living is increasing, exchange rates are changing at a very drastic level. Assuming your rent is 400 euro, to be comfortable enough to not have to like ask your parents every 2 weeks, oh, but there's this thing we have to pay for, and then there's this thing we have to also pay for. Oh, what about insurance? You need 700 to 750 euro. Now, you can't do it with 600 euro because right now I'm assuming that your rent is 400. But then if you're using 50 euro a week for groceries, then that's just 200 for groceries for a month. And then what do you have left? How can you pay for transportation? How can you pay for like random, I don't know, random shit that you need? So I'm telling you right now, 700 to 750 euro is what you need for a month in Poland. And that's my honest opinion because you will struggle with 600 euro if your rent is 400. But always like start with your rent first and then all the other little things. All I can think of right now is my basics, my rent, and my groceries. But there's other things that I can't even begin to think of right now. So that's what I'm saying. 700 to 750 euro. If not, you will suffer. You will suffer, assuming your rent is 400 euro. Now, if your rent is a bit lower, then obviously you can adjust your budget to this. But I'm telling you right now, 600 euro a month, not enough. Not enough. Okay? I'm telling you, it's not enough. Bye. What else do I want to tell you? Okay, now, Um, I'm Irish, okay, and I'm obviously not studying medicine in Ireland. What I do want to tell you is that a lot of people are so focused on the names, the ranks of university, but people aren't realizing that it's one thing to get into medicine and it's another thing to stay inside of medicine. So what I want to tell you, is that medicine is medicine everywhere. It doesn't matter the name of your college or what their rank is or I don't know, whatever is happening these days, they're not going to teach you a different anatomy in one medical school than they will in another medical school. Because then, what kind of doctors would we be all around the world? You know what I mean? So, you're going to be a good doctor based on how hard you're willing to work for this. Okay. Your schools isn't going to make you a good doctor. You are going to make yourself a good doctor. Okay. They're not going to teach you any different this school than they will in that school. So why bother worrying about things that don't matter? You know what I mean? So this is my message for you today. And that's basically it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I made it as easy and as smooth as I say it is when it comes to applying for a medical school in Poland. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, as the YouTubers say. Please give me a like and subscribe to this channel because I'll be making more videos about what it is like to study in Poland. Also follow my TikTok channel because I do make more videos about studying in Poland and my life as a medical student there. And also, I'm trying to get a camera, so if you would like to support me by buying me a coffee, my link is down in the description below. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video and I wish you a very, very, very happy applying, guys. Bye. I actually can't. I can't.